Mexico City is in chaos tonight. Let's get straight to the point. The king is dead. Nemesio El Mencho Oseguera Cervantes, the billionaire leader of the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, CJNG, and the most wanted man in the Western Hemisphere, is confirmed to have been killed in a massive military raid in the mountains of Jalisco state. And POV, all hell has broken loose. According to sources within the Mexican Secretary of National Defense, the operation, dubbed Dawn's Hammer, went down just after 4 a.m. local time. Elite forces, backed by armored vehicles and helicopter gunships, stormed a heavily fortified compound. The firefight lasted over 2 hours. When the smoke cleared, El Mencho's body was identified among at least 17 other dead. The government is calling it the single biggest victory in the decades-long drug war. But here's the kicker. This isn't a victory party. It's a wake-up call to a nightmare. Within hours of the announcement, coordinated attacks erupted across at least 8 states. CJNG sicarios, leaderless and furious, are hitting military checkpoints, burning buses to block major highways, and launching brazen assaults on rival cartel territories. The message is clear, the throne is empty, and every lieutenant with an arsenal is making a play. President Claudia Sheinbaum went on national television this afternoon, her tone firm, almost defiant. The Mexican state has struck a decisive blow against organized crime, she stated, flanked by top military officials. We have cut off the head of the serpent. Federal forces are deployed nationwide. We will restore order. The violence you see is the last gasp of a dying beast. She announced Operation National Shield, mobilizing thousands of additional troops to hotspots. Yeah, about that last gasp. Reports from the ground tell a different story. In Guadalajara, automatic gunfire echoed through affluent neighborhoods previously considered safe. In Tijuana, a series of car bombs detonated outside police stations. In Michoacán, a video circulated online showing a convoy of dozens of technical trucks, mounted with .50 caliber machine guns, rolling through a town square unchallenged. The local police? Nowhere to be seen. The carnage on the streets isn't a dying gasp, it's the sound of a hydra growing 5 new heads for the one that was just cut off. Let's break down the gaslighting, shall we? The official line is, control. The reality TV footage from citizen journalists shows a country teetering on the brink of a cartel civil war. The CJNG isn't just some street gang. It's a multinational corporation with a private army. They're in every corner of the country, from the poppy fields to the ports. The chaos on the ground? That's just the smoke. The real fire is in the boardrooms. Investigators from 3 separate agencies, speaking on condition of anonymity, tell us they've traced the cicada calls, those cryptic, taunting messages claiming control, back to a single, chilling objective, a secret succession plan for the CJNG cartel. This isn't a free-for-all. It's a hostile takeover, orchestrated from the shadows. According to a classified intelligence report obtained by our network, the cicada signal is being used to coordinate key lieutenants loyal to a specific, undisclosed faction within the cartel's upper echelon. Think of it as a corporate merger, but with more grenade launchers. The goal? To install a new CEO of crime before the rivals even know the job is open. But here's the POV shift. A rival faction, believed to be remnants of the old guard leadership, is now pushing a dangerous new narrative. They're blaming the United States. Leaked communiques, verified by a cyber intelligence firm, show this faction circulating a claim that the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration didn't just kill El Mencho, they orchestrated the entire power vacuum to destabilize the region. It's the ultimate gaslighting move, turning internal war into an anti-American crusade. This blame game isn't happening in a vacuum. In the last 72 hours, 3 DEA informants in Guadalajara have been found dead. A message left at one scene read, in English, "Stay out." The U.S. State Department has issued a new travel warning for western Mexico, calling the situation volatile and unpredictable. Enter the wild card. A key witness has surfaced. We're calling him Source Zero. He's a former financial architect for the CJNG, extracted by a private security firm last week. And the information he's brought? Damning. In a secure debrief, details of which have been shared with us, Source Zero didn't just talk about money laundering routes. He talked about bloodlines. He confirmed the existence of the secret succession plan, codenamed Project Phoenix. But he said the fighting isn't between the obvious contenders, the violent regional bosses vying for territory on your TV screen. That's a distraction. The real war, he says, is between the cartel's ruling council and a shadow entity they thought was a myth. The witness took a long pause when asked who would lead this Phoenix. Then he dropped the bomb. The reason the council is scrambling, the reason that the cicada messages are so confident, is because El Mencho had a secret air no one knew about. Guadalajara, Mexico, in a stunning escalation of the cartel succession war, a massive, coordinated assault is currently underway at the Estadio Akron, home of the Chivas Football Club and a designated 2026 FIFA World Cup venue. This is not a random act of violence. According to exclusive intelligence obtained by our network, this is the opening move of the Hidden Heir, the strategic mastermind behind Project Phoenix, to seize absolute control. The attack began precisely at 1926 local time, a clear, taunting reference to the upcoming World Cup year. It wasn't a frontal charge. Our sources within the Jalisco state security apparatus describe it as a surgical takeover. First, power and communications to the entire stadium complex were severed. Then, key security checkpoints were simultaneously neutralized by small, highly trained teams. The stadium, which was hosting a closed-door training session, is now under complete lockdown. Here's the gaslighting on a grand scale. While local news initially reported a major police operation, the truth was broadcast on a hijacked emergency alert frequency. A synthesized voice, believed to be the air using a modulator, stated, "The old regime falls tonight. The Phoenix has landed. Guadalajara is the proof of concept." This message played on a loop for 3 minutes before being cut off. The sophistication is what's terrifying officials. This isn't a bunch of guys with AKs, a federal police commander told us on condition of anonymity. This is a combined cyber and physical operation. They had inside knowledge of security rotations, they bypassed hardened systems. It's military grade. We are not dealing with a traditional cartel boss. We are dealing with a CEO of chaos. And the heir's strategy is brutally clear. By targeting a symbol of global prestige and national pride, the World Cup, they're not just claiming territory. They're claiming the narrative. They're demonstrating to the cartel's ruling council, to the rival bosses, and to the world that their power is absolute, their reach is unlimited, and your biggest stages are their playgrounds. The government's response has been predictably chaotic. The Mexican Army and National Guard have mobilized, establishing a wide perimeter. But there's a palpable sense of hesitation. Why? Because the heir's operatives inside have reportedly taken an unknown number of personnel from the training session and stadium staff hostage. They're human shields against a full assault. The message to authorities, any heavy-handed response will result in a bloodbath broadcast to the world. Meanwhile, the ruling council of the cartel Jalisco Nueva Generation, CJNG, is in disarray. Source Zero's warning about a shadow entity was correct. Breaking, in a high-stakes, pre-dawn raid, elite Mexican Special Forces unit stormed the Estadio Akron, ending a 36-hour siege and narrowly averting a catastrophic terrorist attack during a live soccer broadcast. The operation resulted in the capture of the man identified as the Heir, the aspiring new leader of the cartel Jalisco Nueva Generation, CJNG, but authorities warn the criminal network remains fully operational and dangerous. According to a joint statement from the Mexican Secretary of National Defense and the Attorney General's office, the assault, dubbed Operation Final Whistle, was launched at 4:17 a.m. local time. The trigger was intelligence confirming the detonators for the stadium's explosive network were on-site and active. The threat was imminent and credible. "We had to move," a Special Forces commander, speaking on condition of anonymity, told reporters. The raid was a coordinated blitz. While one team fast-roped from helicopters onto the stadium roof, another breached the main service gates with controlled explosives. Their primary objectives, neutralize the command cell in the broadcast booth and secure the hostage group, which included 23 players from a youth academy training session and 15 stadium staff members, held in the home team's locker room. The POV from inside was pure chaos. Bodycam footage, later reviewed by news outlets, shows commandos engaging in fierce, close-quarters firefights in concourses and control rooms. The Heir's operatives, heavily armed and wearing fake security uniforms, put up significant resistance. The firefight lasted approximately 22 minutes. When the smoke cleared, 14 cartel gunmen were dead. Tragically, 2 hostages and 1 Special Forces operator were also killed in the crossfire. The pivotal moment came in the broadcast booth. Sources say the Heir, whose real name is being withheld pending formal charges, was attempting to initiate a final, symbolic transmission when he was subdued. He was captured without sustaining major injuries. He was holding a trigger device. It was a literal race against the clock, said a federal police source. But here's the kicker, the gaslighting masterstroke. Initial forensic sweeps of the stadium's infrastructure found the much-hyped, explosive network was significantly less extensive than threatened. Many of the devices were inert props or low-yield charges designed for spectacle, not structural collapse. The real weapon was the fear, the global audience, and the paralysis it caused. It was a Karen move on a warlord scale, a massive, violent performance to get what they wanted, attention and perceived power, analyzed security consultant Eduardo Rios. The government is declaring a major victory.